Hello, welcome to Just Prime. As part of this video, we are going to see how to write data into a file. So before going to this one, as for the previous video, we have seen how to create a file. Now we are going to see how to write a data into an existing file. So that we are going to see it. Okay, let's get started. So we are going to create a simple class called FileWrite into one of our existing Java project so that we are going to use it. So file write demo, so this is our class. So inside that I'm trying to create a simple main method. So to insert the data into the file, so we are going to use a class called file writer. So this is part of IO package, so we can see over here java.io, so you can import that one. File writer equal to new file writer. So file writer is a class and which will take a lot of different types of inputs parameters as part of constructor, but we are going to use a simple one called file with string in the sense you can give file name as file path as directly, or if you have a file object you can pass it over here, so it's up to you. So but it will work for both. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create file writer which will take a string as an object. So this is the one I'm going to take it. So you can pass here directly the file name. So I'm going to give the file name as test.txt and which will look into the same location where currently the program is running. If you see here, I'm just going to refresh. We don't have any file name with test.txt. So and now we can see there is a red line is showing saying that there is exception it is trying to throw it. So we need to handle this exception. So how to handle it is very easy. You just right click over here and you can click on surround by try catch. So now so this exception classes is generated automatically. So now what you have to do, we want to write the data into the file writer. So for that purpose, inside the file writer class there are many methods are available, but the main method which what we are interested is write method. So write method which will take as a string as an input, so you can take that one and you can pass the text. Okay, so this is the text you want to insert into the file. So once the file data got inserted successfully, I want to see some message saying that content inserted. So this line will be displayed, that means the content is written into the file successfully, right? So and we can see again there is one more warning we are seeing over here. So file writer never closed, in the sense whenever you are writing anything into the file, what we have to do, do two things. One is flush the data if there is any pending data in between, and finally close it. So now we will not see the warning. So now the warning is gone. So this is the way you can able to write the data into the file. So let me test it. So how to test it? It's very easy. You just right click, run as Java program. So we can see here content inserted successfully. Then come back here, refresh, and we can see the file over here test.txt. This file is not there, so the file will be created and then data will be inserted. So this is the way we can able to insert the file. Now let me do one more thing. Let me run one more time. So we will be thinking this data will be inserted again, right? So but it will not happen. It will override the data always. If you see here, but the data remains same, it's not changing. Let me change it and let me add one dot. So what will happen? So let me come back here. So now we can see dot is coming, in the sense it's overwriting the data every time. But in case if you want to append the data to an existing file, or you don't want to override it, so then you can pass a parameter over here called true. So that means if the data is already present in this file, it will just try to append it, it will not override it. So that's the reason we are using this flag. Now let me run it. Now let me go back and see over here. So we can see the data is inserting, appending. Now let me rerun again. We can see this particular string is keep adding it, it's appending it. So now I want to add one new line, say for instance like this, because if you see the data is coming in, everything is in one line, but I don't want to write the data in one line. I want to add a separate line. So for that purpose, so we just trying to add a new line character. So that means it will try to append a new line character whenever it is adding data into the file. Now you can see the data is coming in new line. Let me run it again one more time. So new line character is coming and data is adding into the second line. So but I don't want to add this new line character in as part of my text. So how to do that one? So if you want to add a new line without appending manually, so that we are going to do with the help of different class that is called as a buffered writer. Buffered writer b are equal to new buffered writer. So this is the way you need to create the buffered writer object, and then buffered writer is a class and which will take a constructor as an argument of type file writer. So we can pass file writer directly into the buffer writer, and then we can use buffer writer to write the data into the file. So we are not going to use these things, so you can comment it out. So why we are using buffer writer? Mainly to add some of the new lines into the file, so that is more flexibility to write the data into the file content instead file writer. So that's the reason we are trying to use the buffered writer. Okay, so now let me come back to the buffered writer, how we are going to write the data into the buffered writer. Buffered writer having various methods, we can see over here. If we come back over here, so we can see there is a method called write. So we can use the same method, and let me add the test data from buffered writer. So so this is the line I want to add it, and also I want to add one of the new line character. So to add new line character, so there is a especially method defined to add a new line character called new line, so that you can call it. So the new line will be added to the content before adding content to the file writer. Okay, again here also we need to follow the same syntax. We need to flush the data and we need to close the buffer writer. Okay, so this is simple. So you can use buffered writer and flush it out, so that way you will not get any performance issues and your data will be written completely into the file system. Okay, now let me run it and we'll verify the. So you can see content inserted successfully, and come back over here and we can see here test data from buffered writer. Okay, now let me run it. Before running, we can see now so far we have 4 lines. Let me rerun again one more time. Content inserted, and let me come back so we can see the 5th line. So this is the easy and the better way to handle a data into the file system. So buffer writer is a better approach compared to the file writer, but the main difference between file writer and the buffer writer is, so file writer is not that much flexible, whereas buffer writer is more flexible to write the data into the file system. Okay, so I think that's all about this video, how to handle writing data into the file system. Okay, thanks for watching. Thank you.